everybody. How we doing? How we feeling? Your boys from the Hop are back. Gabe and Steven here for another great round. What's going on?
What's happening, everybody? Welcome into the Hop. It's Steven and Gabe. I'm Steven. That's Gabe.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for finding us. Welcome to it. We drink beer. We have fun. That's what we do here. If you're new, welcome. And
round 73.
Round 73. If you're new, there are 72 episodes in the backlogs you can dig through and and find your favorite brewery. But welcome to it. We have a big day today.
Woo,
we have a
huge.
Whole lot to do. Yeah.
What are we drinking?
We're drinking Harlem Brewing out of
Harlem.
Yeah.
3 awesome different beers. Very excited. This is another jam-packed episode. We're excited for this one. To be completely honest, it took a while to find this beer. You'd think it'd be easier just being in Harlem, but no.
Yeah, this is probably the closest beer to where you live, where I used to live, of any beer we've ever done, and yet I would say one of the hardest to get our hands
that
on.
One day we were just going around the city.
We knocked on some lady's door. I hope she's doing well.
Hi, is this Harlem Brewing Company? She was like, no.
She's like, they don't brew beer here.
Yeah.
It was just her living room. It was the height of COVID too. I felt bad for her.
Yeah, that was bad.
But we have located their beers and we have so much to do today. We got 3 beers, like Gabe said. We got news and notes. We got This Week in Gross. We got
all of it.
Everything. Can art and craft. We got so much to do. So let's dive into it. We're on social media. If you haven't engaged with us, please do. We're at the HO Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. You can find the show on YouTube. We are a video podcast. If you're listening and you want to see what we look like or see the beers we're drinking, see the can labels, all that kind of stuff, we're on YouTube. Just search for the Hop, a craft beer podcast.
Click that bell.
If you just search for a craft beer podcast, you'll probably come up with a lot.
Yeah, and we don't. The other guys are fine, but you want us.
Subscribe and then click the bell. You'll get notified whenever we do drop videos unexpectedly. We have it coming up, guys.
It's coming.
4 Quarters Brewing. We're reckoning with that tomato.
That tomato basil. Oof.
It's gonna happen. So stay tuned. And if you're listening to us on Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcast, thank you. And please subscribe on there if you haven't already and give us a rate and review. The rates and reviews are super, super helpful to the show. So please do that if you can. Also, if you're interested, you can follow our personals at Shakespeareist is me.
At Gaberade67 is me. As always, let us know what breweries to hit up next. Let us know what breweries to repeat. Let us know if we should try other drinks, maybe some harder alcohol. It may come.
We're in the market for a better seltzer.
We're in the market for a whiff. Or are we? But yeah, let us know. We are here for you. Before we get into the news and notes, wanted to give a quick non-beer related shout out to our lovely soundbite man, Mike Breen.
He's the hop hype man.
He's the hop hype man.
We love him very much.
Exclamation point!
Mike Breen recently received the Basketball Hall of Fame Kurt Gowdy Award for print and broadcasting. He's been a NBA basketball broadcaster for just God so long. He always does the NBA finals. Like he's like the Joe Buck of NFL. Like, that's his status. You know what I mean?
You mean of NBA?
Of NBA. Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah. Joe Buck does NFL. But yeah, big shout out to Mike Breen. He's in our soundboard, and he hasn't sued us yet, and we love him. So.
Yeah. Thank you for letting us pilfer your voice. Should I play him one more time?
One more time.
Yeah. Congrats.
Bang! Exclamation point!
On your accomplishment. Gabe, are you ready for some news?
Let's get newsy.
Beer news.
Okay, going around the beer world, plenty of highlights to just quickly mention. Matt Brune has stepped down as the president and general manager of Pabst. No word yet on who is replacing him, but he's been with the company for a number of years. So Matt Brune, thank you for your service to the beer world, and we wish you well in future endeavors. Boulevard Brewing has brought on a new director of HR, which we know they desperately needed. Of course, if you haven't been keeping tabs on this, Boulevard Brewing hired an independent investigator, has been accused of a whole lot of workplace harassment issues, and the independent investigation did conclude that management was aware of it for quite some time. So good to see that they've hired somebody to come in and sort of right the ship.
Yeah, they're definitely moving in the right direction, which is very good to see.
Let's see. Legacy Breweries has formally acquired both Aspen Brewing and Capitol Creek Brewery out of Colorado. So they have a big craft brewery portfolio. Legacy Breweries, mostly it includes Ninkasi and a couple of other Oregon breweries, I believe Ale Song and Laurelwood. So they're moving in the direction of Colorado, adding to their portfolio, which is nice. And Boston Beer Company, they own Sam Adams as well as Dogfish Head and one of the seltzers. Maybe
Truly?
Yeah, maybe Truly.
I think it's Truly.
Anyway, they're moving into the Weedwater game. They're starting a subsidiary in Canada to focus on non-alcoholic Weedwater.
Weedwater, eh?
So all of that to look forward to. Our first story that we're diving into has to do with alcohol to go sales. We've talked about this a lot. The trend is continuing with making this a permanent thing. So because of COVID, obviously a lot of restaurants and bars have been permitted to include alcohol with delivery orders as a way to sort of help bolster their sales and help, ease the pressure that they felt because of the pandemic.
It's a smart thing to do. I'm just
really
going to say
it. It's becoming a trend that these laws are becoming permanent, and it seems to be a trend across red and blue states. Texas Governor Greg Abbott officially signed a bill into law on Wednesday of last week, which will allow beer, wine, and mixed drinks to be included in pickup and delivery orders. Also, Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis signed a similar bill the following day. So these laws do typically come with certain restrictions. The drinks have to be accompanied by a food order. They have to be in a sealed container. They have to come from a restaurant, etc. The Florida bill even goes so far as to say that the drinks must be in a locked compartment or locked trunk if they are transported in a vehicle.
That one made me laugh. I thought it was a little extreme, but it did make me laugh.
Yeah,
thinking okay, lock and key.
Seriously, don't touch this.
All right, damn.
Iowa, Georgia, Oklahoma, and Ohio are some states that have already made this permanent. Meanwhile, in the great, beautiful, sunny state of California, the state Senate passed a similar bill. So again, it's across red states and blue states. It's not, you got Texas and you got California doing it.
Yeah.
So it seems to be a trend everywhere. And if it passes the state assembly, which is where it is now, it can go to Gavin Newsom's desk. Yeah, it's really hard to see a downside to this.
I understand the safety protocols, but I mean, if it's sealed container with or without food, however you want to do it, it was one of those positives to come out of the changes that COVID made us all do. So.
Yeah, it's helping restaurants add a revenue stream, which is very lucrative. It's good for consumers because booze. It's just good all around, and I can understand there being certain, restrictions in place. But if a state like Texas, which Texas's liquor laws are insane. I mean, they can't buy beer on Sunday, which a lot of states have that, but there's a lot of other things involved in that.
Yeah.
And then you go to a state like Colorado and they have alcohol drive-thrus. I've never seen anything. They have liquor store drive-thrus, like a McDonald's drive-up window, but you can buy alcohol.
I mean, I'm not going to complain. No complaints here.
Liquor laws, man.
Liquor laws. Triple Bottom Brewing out of Philadelphia is now becoming a certified B Corporation. They are the first brewery in Pennsylvania to do it. They are a woman-owned brewery. They are joining this B Corporation, which basically means it's businesses that meet high verified standards of social and environmental performance, transparency, and accountability. They are joining other breweries that have already done this, such as Allagash Brewing, who we featured in round 14, The Alchemist, who we should feature soon.
Who we love.
And New Belgium, who we featured in round 22. Triple Bottom is just the 15th U.S. brewery to earn this distinction.
Which, I mean... Yeah, give it up.
Doing all the things right and becoming a B Corporation. Super and apparently they make very good beer. I've never had their beer.
Not yet, but I would like to.
I would like to. We might be heading up in that area very soon, so we'll definitely look out for that. They are less than 2 years old, but they're still killing it. Founded by husband and wife team of Bill Popewell and Tess Hart, and along with their head brewer Kyle Carney, they're setting a lot of goals and they're really doing it right. Currently offering outdoor dining. They just launched a beer garden at Eastern State Penitentiary where you can sample they're calling it their Purpose Pale Ale. It's a collaboration beer with the prison to raise money for social justice initiatives. That is Triple Bottom Brewing, Philly. Get into it.
Super cool. And beer at a prison. I mean, who wouldn't want
beer at a prison? Am I right?
Berkshire Brewing, Berkshire Mountain Distillers is releasing a number of whiskeys that are sourced from beer, and this has Stephen and Gabe written all over it.
Yeah, I'm very interested in the taste. Is it going to taste like beer? Is it going to taste like whiskey? I
don't know, but I think that they have released it in the past with Boston Lager, and they got a great response.
Right, that's right.
Here we are. So it's part of this series that they're doing. It features a dozen different beers from selected Northeast craft breweries. So they teamed up with the breweries, and they're distilling the beer down and then adding their proprietary blend to blend it to 86 proof and using their own proprietary spring water. I don't know what
dope.
How water is proprietary, but the whiskeys are being sold in the tasting room there, and then they're going to be released to select stores. This current release highlights Boston Lager from Sam Adams. They're bringing that back, as well as Berkshire Brewing Company's Imperial Steel Rail Extra Pale Ale and Jack's Abbey, round 3? 4?
3.
Jack's Abbey's Smoke and Dagger Black Lager. So those are the ones they're doing now. Future iterations are to feature Brewery Omegang, which we love, Captain Lawrence, Smutty Nose, Long Trail Brewing Company, Two Roads, and Chatham Brewing. And the previous releases have come out of Massachusetts Bay Brewing, Spencer Brewery, which I love, and Big Elm Brewing. So this is super cool. Get to your liquor stores and look out for Berkshire Mountain Distillers beer whiskey.
Whiskey made from beer?
Yes, sir.
Science, am I right?
We've had whiskey aged in barrels that once held beer, which then before that held whiskey barrels.
This is some beer inception stuff. So,
but this is crazy.
No, this sounds awesome. It really does.
It sounds.
They're magically delicious.
Magically delicious.
Are you kidding me? Son of a bitch.
Whiskey, don't worry.
No.
All right.
One of our favorite segments.
One more thing because it was promised.
Yes.
This Week in Gross.
I'll never get over that.
Crook and Marker has made a hard pickle seltzer.
Have they? Have they really?
All right. Number one, the first line of the press release that they put out says, "It's true, Brewmate and Crook and Marker have gotten in bev together."
Yeah.
Well done.
Whoever wrote this had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's that sets the tone for the whole press release, and it just continues.
The puns.
All right. It's part of a new series called Crooked Brew. It's a collaboration series between Brewmate and Crook and Marker, the seltzer company, and it's a line of limited edition hard seltzers, quote, each with a rare and inimitable flavor guaranteed to arouse the senses.
Have we seen what's on this box? This is a really big deal. Amen.
Yeah, it's like that throughout the whole thing, and the box is like got a guy riding a
it looks like a green penis,
rocket.
Let's be honest. It looks just like a big green dick.
Listen, you went there?
Let's go there, because let's call a spade a spade. I mean, what are we doing here?
Oh my god. It's called Afternoon Delight. DILL light. It's a 5% ABV, 100 calories, 0 sugar. The idea started as an April Fool's joke, and fans apparently went nuts for it and forced this evil upon us via social media. This is the dark side of social media. And be careful with what you do on Instagram. But apparently, Brewmate received over 10,000 email signups in just 24 hours asking them to really make this a reality. So they hit up Crooked Marker. Crooked Marker was up for the challenge. Quote, a brewmance was born.
Okay.
And here we have a hard pickle seltzer. But we have to give props to us again, Gabe. We have to pat ourselves on the back because we said pickle was going to be a trend in 2021.
Yeah, after that New Year's Eve list we read.
In fairness, it was somebody else who said that, and we read it on the show.
Yeah.
They were right.
We're taking credit, though. I will have to say, though, I'm a big fan of the pickleback shots. Shot of whiskey, immediately pickle juice. So pickle doesn't really scare me. It's hard pickle seltzer that kind of makes me go, okay, I would try it, though. I'm not saying...
You know what? It's impossible for it to be too sweet.
True. Would I have wished this come to fruition? Not really.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not going to make the same promise I made with the tomato basil, but if you just put it in front of me right now, I'd take a swig of it and see what happens.
Well, we'll see how the tomato basil one goes, and then if we feel like getting our hands on this, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
All right, Gabe. Toast us up.
We've got a toast, and this comes from the great and wonderful Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington from a song called Drop Me Off in Harlem. Drop me off in Harlem, any place in Harlem. There's someone waiting there who makes it seem like heaven up in Harlem. I don't want your Dixie, you can keep your Dixie. There's no one down in Dixie who can take me away from my hot Harlem. Harlem has those southern skies, they're in my baby's smile. I idolize my baby's eyes and classy uptown style. If Harlem moved to China, I know of nothing finer than to stow away on a plane someday and have them drop me off in Harlem. Thank you, Louis. Thank you, Duke.
That was perfect. I feel ready to move to Harlem.
Harlem, baby.
Move back to Harlem.
Come back to Harlem.
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited for this. We have a lot to do.
Andiamo.
Andiamo. Okay, what are we kicking things off with here?
We've got beer number 1 is the Harlem Brewing Company Renaissance Wit. It is a Belgian-style wheat ale coming in at 5.8%, 20 IBUs. Beer Advocate gave it an 83. Untapped gave it a 3.44. This is one of their popular ones, a refreshing and tasty Belgian-style wheat ale brewed with spices. We love them spices.
From the can, during the Renaissance, Harlem was a catalyst for artistic freedom and one of the most popular cultural destinations on the planet. Today, people visit from all over the world to discover why its community, history, and ideals remain a global treasure. Gabe lives there.
Enjoy Harlem style. I do live there. I live in East Harlem, and for some reason, all of my friends on the west side are terrified of the word East. I say East, and they're like, ugh, I'm not going that far.
That's been our plight forever, though.
I don't get it. I'm like, it's a bus right away.
We lived on the Upper East Side before Harlem.
Yeah.
It sounds bougier than it was, but we couldn't get anybody to come visit us.
Listen, you're better off going to Brooklyn.
We got the East River. It's nice. But anyway,
we're in Harlem.
The grains in here are 2-row Victory and wheat malts. The hops.
Sazbra. I love saying that. I want that on a hat. On the SRM chart, as you can see if you're on YouTube, it's darkened orange juice, maybe between a 9 and a 12, depending on the chart, depending on the lighting. I had a little bit of head retention. I've got a ring around the glass.
Yeah, it kind of receded. It
a centimeter thick.
Yeah, I would say so. And it's kind of this beautiful, vibrant, white ivory foam.
Oh, yeah.
The nose is super weedy. A lot of those spices. I don't get a lot of that. Like last week for Ship Bottom Brewing.
Ship Bottom. Swashbuckler.
We had that one which had a whole lot of banana on it. I don't get that as much on this. This one is much more weedy to me, much less fruit.
Less fruit, but still a little bit of that citrusy quality to it.
Yeah, I would say this is more citrus orange.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of lemon, but it's less banana.
I would even argue a little bit of lime. Just one little drop.
I'll take a little dab of lime. Why not? Lots of coriander, little bit of clove.
Clove, yeah.
The wheat. I mean, you put your nose to this and you know you're getting into something weedy.
I feel like I'm in a hayfield with that little piece of hay sticking out of my mouth. Like I'm a farmer and I have overalls.
Oh, okay. That's
Should we get some overalls in here?
Steven,
where do you keep your overalls?
No.
But yeah, everything what you're going off of. But I feel like spicy is hidden. I feel like we're gonna taste it more. That's a guess.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just the primary thing to me is, again, the weediness, the yeastiness, the bread, the esters, all of the Belgian wheat things. Blue Moon, that's what comes to mind here. And
apparently this one, as it's called Renaissance Wit, is a toast to the 100th anniversary of the Harlem Renaissance, which I would love for them to bring back. Give me a reason to go outside,
Yeah, I mean, I'm done talking about it. I just want to drink it. Is that okay?
It's okay with me. Cheers. Orange. Orange is very strong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I was a little bit wrong about my guess. I'm not really getting a lot of spicy flavor on the taste. I feel like I'm getting it more on the nose.
I'm getting a lot of coriander is the predominant one. I'm getting a lot of that. I'm not getting a lot of clove. I'm not getting a lot of any of much else. It's mostly it's like pickling spices, which a lot of them are like coriander. It's that kind of there's a pepperiness to this. It's got a pretty moderate carbonation, maybe a little slightly higher end. It's a little zingy in the mouth.
It's a little fluffy in the mouth though. I think it's very soothing in a way. I think it's a nice quality beer. I think it's pretty straightforward. If you like the Blue Moon style, I think you'll love this. I think this is a good introduction to more of the craft stuff. If you like that weedy, I just like Blue Moon, well, try this. This will introduce you to the craft beer world without scaring you.
Yeah, the hops are super subtle. Not a lot of hop bite at all. A little bit of citrusiness, like you said. That orange rind is in there, and that is specific. It's not orange juice; it's the rind. It's like if you when you are eating an orange, there's that little piece of the rind left on the outside. Yeah. That's kind of weedy. That is the flavor as far as citrus goes.
I'm a little surprised that citrus hops are not involved in this. I feel they either A are or B should be.
I mean, not according to the internet. You mean citra hops specifically?
Yeah, because it's got such a strong citrusy note to it that I'm I feel like blind taste test, I'd be I feel like there's citra hops. No, it's Saz.
It's Saz, bruh. Yeah, it's more it's very well balanced, more leaning towards the wheat style. Which if you pick up a Belgian wit, I mean, that's what you want. This is I think such a well done, perfect, true to the again. I say this a lot, but beer advocate, beer judge guidelines pull up. Hey, what's a wit?
This.
Boom.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's right here,
This is it's been very warm out lately, as it should be. Well, it's hot as hell in New York. And so I feel like this is a good New York City Harlem rooftop. You're out with your friends and you're drinking on a rooftop and there's lights and you're just with a fun group of people. Grab one of these.
Let's go hang out on your roof tonight.
Okay. I'm down.
Yeah. Okay. Harlem Brewing. We have to I don't mean to plow through it. We got to
do it.
Harlem Brewing. This company, ladies and gents, is dope.
But they're hidden.
There's a you got to dig.
You got to dig, but
the place they're founded by Celeste Beatty. I hope I'm saying your name right, but she's a beast.
Oh yeah.
Badass. Just beer entrepreneur, self-proclaimed beer entrepreneur and beer pioneer.
Love that.
Age-old story. She had a homebrew kit lying around, thought she'd dust it off, brewed some beer, liked it, friends talked her into it. Ipso facto, here we are. So the company was officially founded in 2000. Celeste Beatty is the first Black female brewery owner in the United States, which, again, we got to give it up. Yes.
Well done. That's incredible.
So the beer, kind of really gained recognition when Sylvia's, which is a hotspot for soul food in Harlem.
Yeah.
Sylvia Woods, the owner of Sylvia's, put Harlem Brewing on tap, and they gained a following, and sky's the limit from there.
Yeah, and Harlem Brewing Company has been featured in many magazines, articles, news stories. I mean, this may sound a little harsh, and I don't mean it to be. If you blink, you might miss them, but if you really look for it, you'll see them everywhere.
Well, it's so hard in Manhattan because it's like, I say this all the time. I often say that, to my knowledge, when I lived in New York, and it may have changed since, there was no brewery on the island of Manhattan. And this is a slight exception, although these beers were not brewed in Manhattan. They were brewed outside of Manhattan at Glen Falls Brewing and other places, which is in Queensbury, New York. So I say that to say that it's a little bit different from being like in Connecticut, you drive past and you see massive tanks
and
you're
you
like,
stop.
Oh, brewery.
Yeah, you stop, you park, and you're there.
But in New York, you don't have that. So you kind of have to be looking for them to find them.
Yeah.
They are a kind of amalgamate, like you got to look around on the internet too to like get all the information about them, because they also have a sister brew pub. So what happened was they have this operation called Harlem Brew South, which is in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. So when you read that, you're kind of like, all right, wait, they're Harlem Brewing. She's brewing out of New York, but also somehow in North Carolina. Like, what happened there? So what happened was basically she met a fellow beer lover named Briana Brake, I'm sorry. And so she was at like a conference. She met Briana, or they hit up over social media, or somehow they came together. Briana became, she opened her own brewery, Spaceway Brewing, and so that's in North Carolina. And together they kind of built this company, Harlem Distributing. So they have a, footprint in the South, and they kind of expanded into North Carolina. So they have like two operations going at the same time.
Yeah. And what's great is they can cover not just, New England.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If they're in North Carolina, I mean, they can cover most of the South and whatnot, in that area. So it's really cool. And they partner with other breweries. Montclair Brewing for us was round 68, I believe.
Yes.
We had them on, and Celeste teamed up with them to brew one of their Black History Month series beers.
Yes. They brewed the Noble Like It Is Porter in honor of Gil Noble, who has a history with Harlem, and so it just was a perfect fit. They had been wanting to collab for a while, but the people down there.
I remember during that episode, I was like, "Hey, Harlem Brewing."
Yeah, exactly. It all comes.
We'll feature them soon.
And we finally found their beers from one of their websites. The way they describe themselves: we create artistic and intuitive beers inspired by the timeless, rich history of Harlem and ancient traditions. Whether experimenting with new styles and ingredients on our Pico Brew Zymatic, or brewing up beers with natural yeasts during our Harlem Brewdio set.
I love that.
And they also have this great, they try to make beer an experience for people.
Right.
In a really unique way.
This is something that a lot of breweries don't do, so this is really cool to us.
Yeah, they have a small batch brew Airbnb experience. So you can go rent an Airbnb, stay there, and over the course of your stay,
brew beer. Like, dope.
It's suspended for the pandemic, but it exists and it's wild and cool. And then they did like a virtual thing, which they have a virtual class experience. But so if you look them up or you look on Harlem Brewing's Instagram or whatever, you will see just pictures of like Celeste and like groups of people.
And like, just students who are like trying to learn. It's incredible.
Yeah. And so they really make beer an experience. They're trying to also encourage a younger generation of beer brewers, which is a big part of the sort of equity, diversity, inclusion conversations we always have over here. So that's great. They do beer in a unique way. And I think that it's uniquely Harlem Brewing and it's very specific to them and very refreshing, honestly. As hard as it was to find these beers.
Yeah. The only criticism I have so far is update your address. That's it. I like I said, we Googled, we found it. They said we're here. We said okay. We went there. Hey, we're not there. But yeah, I mean, they do it their own way, and they're teaching, as you said, the younger generation to inspire and whatnot. And they've had countless amounts of awards won. I mean, Celeste is everywhere. She really is. So if you go on their website, you can see they are on social media, all that stuff. But yeah, they are very prominent and they do the damn thing and they do it in their own special way, which is really cool to see and really fun to see.
Yeah. I don't know what I was going to say there other than I want to move on to our next beer.
I was just about to say, it looks like we're on beer number 2.
We need to move on to our next beer.
We do.
But they're just a great operation. I encourage you to find these beers if you are in New York. We have 2 more of them to sample. And our next option is the Sugar Hill Golden Ale, quote, taste the music.
Taste the music.
Nice.
Like taste the rainbow?
I see what you did. It's 6% ABV. It is a 76 on Beer Advocate, and Untapped has it at 3.22.
Where that bottle at? Hit me with that bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
This is like their flagship, their go-to, their number 1, their numero uno. It is everywhere. If you look up this brewery, I'm very excited to drink it. Straightforward golden ale.
Yes.
Yeah. The brewery's description of it: an unusually rich medium body, smooth character, well-balanced taste, a subtle citrus accent with a light finish of hops and malt flavors, named for the Sugar Hill neighborhood, immortalized by musicians, artists, and writers during the Harlem Renaissance. So
I just love how this brewery, and we'll find this even in beer number 3 based off of the research we've done, it's all just so homegrown roots, history, like it's all just so Harlem specific, as it should be. It's in the name. But I just love when a brewery, they brew, write what you know, brew what you know. You know what I mean? And I just feel like they just revert back to their home roots, and it's so great to see, and it makes me happy that I live in Harlem.
All right, on the nose, I love what you just said, by the way. Brew what you know. We were talking about that on a episode fairly recently. But it's like, bring yourself to the beer you're brewing.
Yeah.
Bring yourself to the art you're doing, whatever that is. We've talked about this before.
This is art. Anyone who says this isn't art is a damn fool.
Well, that's exactly
it's completely art. It's science. It's everything. Yeah. It's passion. It's all that good stuff.
On the nose, I don't know if it's just because of the name, but I am getting some sugar. It's very sweet. There's a whole lot of honey in this. I'm getting a lot of biscuit toast. I'm not getting a whole lot of fruit or hops initially. It's more the malty side of things.
Yeah, I have to be honest. Off of the nose, I'm not getting much. I don't know if that's just me, but I think so far I'm getting a lot of sweet, sugary notes.
I'm getting honey. I mean, that's the main agave too. Like when you smell agave plain or honey, it smells like this. It smells like butterscotch a little bit almost. Like
yes,
it's very sweet.
Yeah, it's in that direction.
There's a little bit of citrus or florality behind it. It's very subtle.
It's like sticky sweetness.
Yeah, and I
guess you can call that honey. I don't know.
I should mention that it's golden.
Oh yeah,
the color.
It's golden 100%.
But SRM, I would put it. It's a little dark though. It's not like a vibrant golden color. It's a little bit like dark amber. I might call it a 12 or 13.
Same, yeah.
And it poured with almost no head at all for me. And
I'm drinking out of just like a classic beer mug, and I've got I don't remember a lot of head, but I definitely have a centimeter thick of ivory white foam, and the lacing is seems to be pretty sticky.
Yeah, we'll see when we drink it. It's hard for me to tell in this glass, but yeah,
well,
the nose is pleasant.
The beer isn't going to do much good just sitting in the glasses, so
amen to that.
Cheers. Number 2.
All right, caramel for sure.
Honey.
Wow. Yeah, sweet. I mean, the sweet malts. Not a whole lot of citrus to me.
This is so good.
It's really good.
Oh my God. Wow.
It's really good. It's really sweet. It feels like it's like the candy of the beer world.
It's those butterscotch candies, I think, but it's not, it doesn't taste like butterscotch though. So like what hard candy does this taste like?
A Werther's Original.
All right.
No. I don't know. It's got a lot of malty sweetness in a really pleasant way. It's subtle, it's balanced. The carbonation in this is pretty light. It's pretty smooth in the mouth. I wouldn't call it fluffy. I wouldn't call it zingy. I think it's just a pretty easy drinker.
Yeah,
but this one is more alcoholic than the last one. So
yeah, this one's 6. This is great. I think the taste is perfect for the ABV. Like I feel like with this taste, if the ABV was higher, you would lose most of those notes. But because it's only 6, you're getting most of what they want you to get.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about to finish this. Like, I'm gonna just slam this.
This is awesome.
It's so easy drinking. Like, it is crushable. I think 6% is a little high to say it's crushable. However,
but this one,
you could just. I mean, it's not overwhelming on flavor. It's not overwhelming on booziness or hoppiness or anything. It's really well balanced. Yeah. It's the perfect oh my God, sunny Sunday in New York. Put me at a restaurant outside on the streets of Harlem, put one of these in my hand, and we're done.
And call it a day. Yeah. I was just about to say, I feel like, you don't drink beer with brunch, but I think we might start with this.
I would. Because what do you drink with brunch? Well, mimosas.
I usually go mimosa. Everyone, Bloody Mary.
Yeah, that's where you lost me.
Yeah, same.
I can't do it.
I don't do Bloody Mary. I do mimosa.
Oh, that tomato basil's going to suck so much.
I can't wait to do it. It's going to be so much fun because the video of us just it's going to be incredible. You have no idea. The closer
it gets, the more nervous I get for it.
Oh, I can't wait. I hope it's my new favorite beer. But back to this.
Yeah, back to the sugar.
This is incredible. It is pretty sugary. I will give you that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a downside though.
If you're looking for hop bite, this one is not going to do it for you. Yeah, no. And I'm trying to think of a comp where if you're a sour person, maybe not going to get you there. But if you're someone who likes to crush the Pilsners, if you like light, easy drinking, not a lot of flavor, I just want something that's going to booze me up.
Yeah.
This one could be a good option for you because it's pretty... I don't want it to sound like I'm saying it's flavorless because I'm not. No. What I'm saying is that the flavor is subtle in a pleasant way, in a way that makes you go... I could just sip on this, not a care in the world.
I feel like this is the perfect beer to drink when you go apple picking. Thoughts?
What?
I don't know.
My thoughts are...
Immediately, my brain is just apple picking. I don't know what... I feel like this is a good, you're sitting at, a picnic table.
Okay, can I walk you through the layers of problems I have with that? Number one... Apple picking, fall. So off the bat, I'm
true, okay.
It's not a fall beer. Number 2, when's the last time you went to an apple orchard and they said, hand me a beer? And you had a beer in one hand, and you're just trying to dab apples on.
Drunk on a ladder,
I'll reach with one hand, but I'm not climbing for this Honey Crisp.
I don't know. All right, maybe not apple picking, but I don't know. An activity where there involves...
No, if I was at a drunk apple orchard where I could pick apples while drinking,
You would
which,
drink
by the
those.
way, phenomenal idea.
Yes.
If anyone
Somebody
owns an
market
apple
that
orchard.
idea and get it happening.
In that instance, this would be great. But it was a weird.
Yeah, I don't know why my brain went there. I don't know. Maybe... all right.
Okay.
It's so like... Okay, outside. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Outside.
Like we're cusping on summer. Summer's almost here.
We're what on summer?
We're cusping on summer. We're on the cusp of
That's
summer.
disgusting. I don't want to hear
It's almost here, and if I'm on a boat somewhere, I would love to be drinking this.
Yeah, but it's not like, the barbecue beer. It's perfectly what you said. We're at a restaurant in New York City in Harlem outside. We're sitting in the patio.
Yeah.
And like the patio area of this bar, and we're drinking this.
It is a little bit more, I don't know if hoppy is the right word, and I don't feel like it really is, but that I guess it is. It's a little fruitier than like a Pilsner. It's not that. And so to your point, it's not the barbecue beer because it's not the craft beer version of Budweiser.
Right.
It is more flavorful than that. It's more fruity than that. It's really good. I think it's delicious.
So awesome.
And so far, this brewery is just knocking it out of the park.
And we have one more. Dun,
Perfect
dun.
segue. Professional segue. Let's go get that.
Let's go do that one.
All right, lead us into beer number 3, Gabriel.
Beer number 3. It is the Harlem Brewing Company 125th Street IPA. It is a fun 7%. IBUs are 66. Beer Advocate has yet to review it. Untapped gave it a 3.54. It is their IPA, and from the can, a refreshing hip-hop aroma of citrus and spice, a nutty malt sweetness with everything nice, a mellow finish, and a bitterness as long as 125th Street, which is pretty long. Discover the soul of Harlem, the living history and culture of the community for more than 200 years. It is the green can. It looks incredible. It sounds incredible. And very excited. The grains are Pale and Crystal 60. The hops are Citra and Cascade.
Yeah, and I will tell you right now, off the nose, that Cascade comes through for sure. There's the citrusy sort of orangey thing that comes off the citron hops, but there's a bite, there's a grassiness, there's an earthiness that definitely comes off the Cascade hops. I do love a Cascade hop.
We have a fun head retention.
Yeah, this one.
Finally
some head.
Finally some head. Am I right?
Yeah, good head retention on it. About half a thumbnail of ivory foam. And it smells like an IPA or a pale ale. It's in that
biscuity.
world. Yeah.
I like it. It's biscuity. It's definitely got those citrus notes to it. Maybe a little nutty.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what leads me in the pale ale direction, is that there is a nuttiness to it. There is a biscuityness to the grassiness of it. So it's not just like a hop bomb, and it's also not a New England type sort of citrusy juice bomb. It's sort of like this I get the sense that it's going to be very well balanced.
Sourdough bread. Yay or nay?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about maybe sourdough, but there's no like sour esters coming.
No.
Yeah.
No, just the breadiness is what I meant.
Well,
Harlem Brewing Company, thank you. Third and final beer.
Cheers.
Here we go.
That's good.
That's an IPA.
That is an IPA. That is a well-balanced IPA.
That is an IP. Yay.
Ew.
Oh my god.
Ew.
If I had access to my drops, I'd be playing Stone Cold's Hell Yeah right now.
This is a West Coast IPA, and that's beautiful. Well, thank you, Harlem Brewing Company, for brewing a West Coast IPA, and you don't even have to put it on the can because it's just that's.
I didn't even know it was West Coast style.
Well, it's when you drink it, like, what do you get juicy or do you get hoppy? You know
I get the West Coast style, but like I didn't know that beforehand. And on the can, it does say the Harlem Brew South. So this was most likely made in North Carolina.
It could be, yeah.
It's got the little insignia.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got that bite that you expect off an IPA. Comps to this. Dogfish Head with a little bit more bite to it might be one that people know. Sea Hag might be one that people know if you're from our neck of the woods. It's a classic IPA. I'm not saying that it's like but it's got a good bite to it.
It's not overly crazy, but it is enough. Also, we forgot to mention this on the SRM chart for those of you not on YouTube. It's got that dark orange color to it, so I would give it between like an 8 and a 9-ish.
Yeah, in that range. It's a nice sort of orange, not much haze. It's pretty clear, but it's a little cloudy.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's not hazy, but it's cloudy.
But I love the bite in here so much. I'm so happy that, I mean, it's just like, it's gotten to the point where when you say IPA, it just sort of like almost by default means that it's juicy.
Yeah.
And New Englandy or Northeast if you're not from New England.
Whoever said that is wrong.
But this is not. This is a hoppy IPA, which is what an IPA should be at its base.
Yeah.
So I think it's really good. It's really drinkable. It's not gonna kill you. The ABV is 7%, so it's like, you know, if you're an IPA lover, this is the one to reach for. It's
citrusy. It's got a little bit of maltiness in the background. I think the mouthfeel is definitely kind of light and creamy-ish in a way. I'm not getting a lot of like spice, but I'm definitely getting that hoppy nibble.
Yeah.
That was a weird way to describe it, but you know.
I'm definitely getting a flavorful, full-bodied sort of hop quality to it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, my takeaway is classic IPA, really solid, really well balanced. It's not all hop. It's not all citrus. It's not all malt. It's this perfect storm of all three of those things coming together. And I attribute that to the Cascade hops, because if this was Citra and Mosaic,
it'd be different.
It would be super different. But it's that Cascade brings the bite, the Citra brings the sweet, citrusy fruitiness. Voila.
I could put this at another rooftop location or patio area of a bar, but definitely like at night, like post dinner, you're going out for drinks, and the drinks is the main thing.
Like not us right now.
Like not us right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's delicious. We'll rank them in a bit, or should we do that now? Do you want to do that now?
Why not? I'm gonna let you go first.
All right. Mine's easy. I got it nailed down. IPA, Sugar Hill, Wit. Reverse order. Why? Because I am an IPA person, so by my preferences, just naturally, the IPA speaks to me, but this is a really, really well done one. The Sugar Hill Golden Ale is, it had some surprises to it. It was super drinkable, but had a nice sweetness that I found really pleasant. And then the Wit was, I wanted a little more sweetness. I wanted a little more banana. I thought it was very wheat heavy, which is just not my preference, but it's still a solid option.
I want to also say your list is my list. However, I got to be honest, the Golden Hill and the IPA are like, I think they're both tied for first, to be honest. Yeah. I think it's those two and then the Wit, and all for those reasons you described. I think the IPA is just so classic, and it's just a style that we both love, and I always kind of gravitate toward. But at the same time, the Golden Hill is just so unique, and the style is really great. I don't know. I think I'm going to go 1, IPA and Golden Hill, and then 2, Wit. I'm going to be that guy.
All right. Sure. We have a tie, ladies and gents.
Finally.
Well, let's see if the can art can differentiate the two for you.
Let's see.
How about that?
Can art and crafts.
journey with me to Harlem. And yes, Bob Ross is in the building. He is here. He is joining me in Harlem. So as always, we're going to go in order. Number 1, the Renaissance Wit. Beautiful blue can, my favorite color. We got the Harlem Brewing Company logo. It's very, very straightforward. Neighborhood original Renaissance Wit. But if you look close on the can, you will see buildings. You will see New York buildings. You will see fire escapes. We're clearly in Harlem in New York. And then I gotta be honest, this is definitely the star of the show for the Can Arts and Crafts. The bottle of the Sugar Hill Golden Ale. The Sugar Hill font looks like a piano. It's got the keys, and the Sugar Hill is the black keys. I don't play piano, forgive me. But it's golden. It's got a saxophone wrapped around the logo. Sugar Hill Golden Ale. Definitely dope. And then the IPA is very similar to the Wit, except it is green. And if you look closely, you will see a map of Harlem, of all the streets, of the lines, of what New York City looks like. It is very straightforward. They have their very specific logo, and it's very their style, which I really love. Going off of what we got, I'm giving the Wit a 6 out of 10. I'm giving the 125th IPA a 7 out of 10. And I originally was going to give the Sugar Hill a 7 out of 10, but I think I'm going to change that to an 8 out of 10. Bob Ross agrees. Bob Ross would love to visit you in Harlem. And that is another amazing edition of the Can Arts and Crafts.
Can I be honest? Bob Ross's head is way bigger than I thought it was on the camera.
Oh yeah.
In real life,
look at this guy. This is we got the Funko Pop figure.
I don't know if this comes across, but his head is way
his
bigger
head is huge
than it seems like on the zooms.
I love these pop figures. Shout out to my buddy Vin. He had a Bob Ross and he goes, "Hey, you want this?" And I was like, "Yeah.
Yes.
Why wouldn't I want this?" And he's helped. He's helped this show.
He's a part of the show. He's like Mike Breen.
He didn't win any awards, but he's here with us.
What's on tap at this brewery?
Those 3 beers.
You're looking at it. However, I do want to mention their Blacktoberfest situation. So Harlem Brew South collaborated with Dirtbag Ales out of North Carolina, as well as Black Brew Culture out of Pennsylvania. And they formed this collaboration between 8 Black-owned breweries and 1 Black-owned distributor, which would be Harlem Distributing. We may have mentioned this Montclair Brewing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I believe we did, because I remember seeing Celeste in one of the photos, and I was like, "Hey, Harlem Brewing, that's my neighborhood." But
because Denise from Montclair Brewing was a part of this, and so Montclair got involved. There was a Blacktoberfest event this past year. The event itself was mostly virtual, obviously due to the pandemic, but it featured 30 Black-owned establishments coming together, showcasing their respective talents, whether that was food, brewing, whatever, the
entertainment.
Yeah. And then the beer that they made was a Marzen style this year, theme appropriate, Oktoberfest, etc. And so this group hopes to continue adding more Black-owned breweries to the platform, continue the Blacktoberfest thing in years to come, make it an annual thing. So it's really cool. So these are the main beers you can get from Harlem Brewing, but they do these kinds of special collaboration type things from time to time. So keep your eyes peeled.
Dirtbag Ales.
Yeah.
I just love that name. It's great.
I suggest following Harlem Brewing on Instagram and Twitter to keep up with what they're doing, because it might be hard to find them otherwise.
Yes. And, that's, like I said, I think that's like the one criticism I have. Yeah. It's just make it easier for us to find you. I found these beers at a wine bar in Harlem, and they're everywhere apparently. Apparently they're at City Swiggers.
And thanks to Alcohol to Go, to bring it full circle,
yes,
you were able to take them home with you.
Yes, so, I was.
Boom. Bang. How do we feel, Mike?
Exclamation point.
Congrats on your award.
I want an award.
All right, we're pushing it, but we got
one last thing to talk about.
Last call.
Our fun topic, last call, last thing we're going to talk about. This one is fun. Cats are weird, man. The animals, not the movie. We've talked enough about the movie.
Yeah, we can't bring that up again.
So there's a story recently that came out. There was a building that was on fire in Chicago, and a cat jumped out of the window. It was a 5-story jump. He jumped out of the window, landed on the grass, bounced off, and then ran away. And here's the thing. There's a video online. If you go online and look at this video, the cat jumps and you think, oh, that's it. He's going to end it. It's over. Squash, done. This dude bounces off the grass and then runs away like nothing happened, like a boss. Which makes me think, how does this happen? How do cats do this?
Cats, yeah, that's quite a landing he took, and I don't know.
5 stories? Like, I understand the whole 9 lives thing, but my God.
I don't know if he was hurt and he just didn't want to show it.
No.
He didn't look hurt.
In the article, it says they examined the cat afterward. He was totally fine. No injuries. Yeah, they found him. He was hiding under a car because of all the people.
You know, stories like this is where my brain goes, and this may be off topic. Let's hear it. But what I wonder is, like, who is watching a building burn and they go, let me whip out my phone real quick. And then they're standing there just filming. Like, how does this video happen?
Steven, let me introduce you to everyone in America. Like, that's how it happens.
Would that be your instinct if a building was on fire?
No, it wouldn't be my instinct, but it makes perfect sense that people do this. I mean, have you seen that photo? It was like an artist rendering of like what the Titanic would look like in 2020. Everyone was in the water with their phones out. Like that's the world we live in now.
I haven't seen that, but that's
it's hilarious.
Good and accurate.
But I mean, we wouldn't have this video without that soul person, whoever filmed it.
Thank you, you horrible person who thought you were about to film a cat jumping to its death. Like, what did you think was going to happen?
To be fair...
Certainly he didn't pull his phone out and he was like, this cat's about to pull off a
Right. That's what it was. It was like the building, and then it was like, oh, look, a cat. Oh, my God. Oh, it lived. Oh, it's running away.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's what it was. It was like, wow, look at this office building on fire. Like, everyone's out of it.
That's what it was.
Like, he works there and he's like, goodbye, work.
All those papers I didn't file are getting burned. I don't have to worry about my boss yelling at me. Yeah. Right. I just...
That's a fun spin on it.
Cats are weird and they can live. And I just think, like, if I jumped out of this window behind me, this is what, 2-story? I would break every bone in my body.
You would not live. You would not live.
That's what I'm saying.
We are high enough up that you would not live. I can promise.
But a tiny little cat can just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, they say cats have 9 lives for a reason. I have cats, and I've seen them land in every way, shape, and form. You know, they always land on their feet. Can
you imagine Murphy doing this?
He's way too old.
He's too old. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Honestly, if a building was on fire behind him, he might be like, fuck it, dude. He might be like,
pour me some catnip. You know, let's get this over with.
I have a cat. His name is Murphy. He may have been on our Instagram at one point. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I promise you he was.
But we like to say he's on his 10th life because he...
I love him, though.
So if a building was on fire behind him, he might just hang it up.
Everyone's running around. He's just standing there like,
this is
just another Tuesday.
I've fought all the battles I can fight at this point.
Yeah, but so if you have a cat and your building's on fire, don't worry. They'll live.
Don't save your cat. Let them fend for themselves.
Yeah,
that's
it'll grow character
here tonight, guys.
Oh God, we're about to get written up by like some sort of animal collaboration business. But there's a video online. You got to check it out because obviously we're not doing it justice. But holy shit,
yeah, we can't play the video for you, but it's at CFD Media on Twitter, Chicago Fire Media, and that's where the video is, and you can find it there. And we found it entertaining. The cat was fine.
I saw the video and literally out loud I just went, holy shit! And then I was like, oh, he lived. Oh my God.
Okay, we have to go. I just want to say again what I said at the top, but Harlem Brewing is so great. This badass woman.
Yeah.
Celeste Beatty or Beatty or I'm probably saying your name wrong, but Well done.
Yes.
3 really balanced beers. 3 beers that represent the style perfectly, are super drinkable. This was phenomenal. So
Great
thank
episode.
you.
Yes. Thank you very much, Harlem Brewing Co. As always, we will see you guys next Thursday for another great round of drinking. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Cheers. Be well. Be safe.
Peace out.